Welcome back to Food FAQ, everyone. I'm Mariella,
And I'm Eric.
and we were on a little break, y'all.
Yeah, it was nice. Sometimes life gets in the way and we have to take a little break.
But you guys didn't stop listening,
No, we
which
love
is
that.
amazing. We hit another little personal, what is that called? Like a yay, a
Milestone.
milestone for our show, and we are so thankful that you guys tune in and listen to us, and there's so many good things to come.
We're excited because we are, Madi,
Mm.
I want to make you jealous really quick.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck off.
I'm not gonna, it won't be like maybe all the viewers jealous, but just to let you know, starting on Tuesday, my highs are in the 60s and my lows are in my 40s.
That's
So,
nice. I'm so
you
happy for
know,
you.
um, so yeah, so just to let you know,
Yeah, it's
um,
raining.
it feels a little cooler outside and crisp, and the fall is settling into the DC area.
Well,
So
I'm glad. I'm happy. I really am happy for you because here it's just fucking rain, gloom, and doom. And apparently they're creating storms out for political reasons, and we're here in the middle of it.
oh yeah, you're just there in the middle of it. That's amazing. They can
Who
create a
knew?
storm. Wow.
Well, there's another one coming because, they got to bring them all up
Got to
before.
keep creating for the storms. That's what you got to do, apparently, because people are freaking idiots. But anyway, so
I'm not here to make a political joke, Eric. I'm just saying that's what they're saying.
no, but we can point out dumb fuck when we hear them. Okay.
But anyway, yes, fall is here, and I am very happy that the weather is changing. And even here, I mean, it rains more, but at least it's not. I mean, that's not true. It was like 94 the other day, but eventually it will get better. And I am happy about that transition here, however minuscule it is. And it doesn't stop me from pretending it's fall inside of my house because it's always cold in my house.
Mine too.
So we made pumpkin bars at your behest.
They listen. Can I be honest? Uh,
Is there another setting for you? I don't think there is one.
no, there is not. And that is something that I have worked on, my
Mhm.
continual honesty.
Is it
You
that or
know,
your face betrays you every time? Is that what it is?
what does that mean? Anyways, we're gonna ignore that because we're here to have a good time.
Mhm.
So I love pumpkin season. We know this. But it's interesting because all those years of my pumpkin life, I think I'm growing out of pumpkin a little bit.
Like pumpkin
I
spice?
still love it. Yes, like I still love it, but
Welcome.
I'm like actually starting to grow out of it a bit. Like I think I've had the past decade of pumpkin spice being smashed into my face, and let me tell you, I loved every moment of it.
Who's
But
pumpkin spice?
well, it's a family show, so we're not going to go into that.
No, I
You
hear you. And you've been fighting me because even before the season started, I told you I was kind of tired of pumpkin spice. And you were like, how ever loving dare you say that under the church of
yeah,
pumpkin? And I am tired of it too. It's too commercialized. It's like I'm an Aquarius, and anything that gets too popular, I stop liking immediately. And
I'm an
so are
Aquarius.
you.
So if you didn't know this, and if anybody didn't know this, Marilyn and I are 2 days apart from each other. She's 2 days older than me.
I'm
So
so young though inside.
it's okay inside, yeah. So no, not even. So yeah, so I it's so weird. And they always say like your flavor profile changes as you get older. And
It's true.
lately I am all about savory autumnal foods and less about the sweets. But I did like these pumpkin bars, and I think it's a really good, easy recipe.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
it
let's
wasn't
talk about it.
overly pumpkin. So
Right.
let's chat about this.
So what's good about this recipe is that it has both a crust and a crumble, but it's the same recipe.
It's super easy. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about this.
Because I hate making bars sometimes that you have to pre-make the crust and then you have to make the filling and then you have to make the
Yes.
fucking crumble and then you have to make it all in different times. And oh my God, it's so annoying. And I really like that there's a lot of ease to this particular recipe.
Yes. 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 It's easy. And I don't know. It's something you can get your kids involved with too, because I think it's something kind of fun for them because it's not too difficult. Don't roll your eyes at me. Okay, Maddie?
You
I
know
don't
who
have
likes, you know who likes to cook with young children?
who.
The bitches on Instagram who make money from pretending they like to cook with their kids on Instagram.
Well,
All the
we really don't
influencer
make,
mommies. Huh?
well, we really don't make money yet. So, um,
I mean, I like my kids and they're fun in the kitchen, but I feel like
I
90%
like
of the
my
time,
kids.
It's
You're
a
like, they're kind of
mess.
cool.
They're good. I'll keep
They're
them.
pretty neat people. We'll keep them
Yeah.
around.
But it's a mess and but yes, this is definitely friendly for kids, I think. I
It
tell
is friendly
my
for kids, and it is a mess. And listen, I don't have children, but I think it's kind of fun for the kid.
I always like start teaching my kids how to cook by cracking an egg because I feel like I think even some adults don't know how to do it.
I agree with you.
And I just got my youngest, he's 6, to crack eggs and he fucking loves it and he's good at it. And that's like where I started him. He actually cracked the eggs for this recipe, which I think was only 1 egg, was it?
Yeah, it's only 1 egg. Ah, I can't wait to see them.
I know they're so big. But
I can't wait
okay.
to see.
So you want to start this off or you want me to start it off?
Let's do this. I got this. All right. So first thing, you're just gonna take a bowl and we're gonna make the crust here. So again, the crust and the crumble, same exact thing. So in your bowl, you're gonna go ahead and put 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour, put a 1/2 cup of old-fashioned oats, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar packed, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 cup unsalted butter melted, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Okay, here's the thing. I did put more than a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Oh
So
yeah.
I found that just to be a little bland for me. So I did put more than a teaspoon of cinnamon.
You know what's funny about that? Like, I feel like a lot of recipes, they're like made for people or they're made for like the palate of least resistance in a way.
Right.
And you
Exactly.
always have to know, like, the more you cook, the more you're like, oh, they said a clove of garlic, that means 5.
No, 100%. And I think when you look at a recipe, you have to look at it. This is like a blank canvas.
Right.
And go ahead and add to it. I know just by my flavor profile, my boyfriend's flavor profile, people around me, if I put a teaspoon of cinnamon in there, it's just going to taste like brown sugar and oats. That's
Right.
what's like. So I did throw a little bit more in there. So kind of make it your own. If you want to put a little bit of nutmeg in there too, do it. If you want to put a little ginger in there, do it.
Any
But
warm spice will do.
any warm spice is going to do. Exactly.
Okay, so you get all that shit together and you mix it together like wet
You're going
sand.
to mix it together. You're just going to go ahead and mix it together. And if anything, when you mix it together, I use a wooden spoon, but then after a moment, just with a clean hand, just go ahead and just use your hand. So, let
Yeah.
me tell you, do you ever go on TikTok and watch like these like old Italian grandmothers make food and stuff like that? I love them, the nonas. Okay. And there was one nona that always says it that like, she always uses her hands. Her name is Nona Pia. If you
I know
ever
her.
saw
Yeah.
someone awesome, Nona Pia. I love her because she reminds me of my grandmother. So that's why I think I really love seeing her. But anyways, she always laughs and her grandson always makes fun of her and she always has to say her hands are clean. So
She has an apron that says that.
yeah, she has an apron that says that. She's amazing. And go check her out. But and Nona Pia, I love you. So anyways,
No.
I love her. Oh my God, if you want to meet me, please, I love you.
Oh my God, we should
Use your
do that.
hands. Make it a crumble. Your hand is your best kitchen tool sometimes.
I agree.
And I love that. So go ahead and make the crumble with your hand. Preheat your oven at this point to 350 degrees.
Right.
Okay. In a separate bowl, we want 1 can of pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling.
No, like
I'll
pumpkin.
get into my thought in that in a minute. But we need a can of pumpkin.
Shit.
I got a thought about this.
Not a can. You need a cup.
I'm sorry, it's a cup. You're right. You need a cup.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you need a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 4th teaspoon ground ginger, 4 teaspoon ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/2 cup evaporated milk, or heavy cream. I used heavy cream because that's what I had.
Same.
The Trader Joe's heavy cream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it because it comes in a little box.
They all come in a box, dumbass.
They do not. You could buy heavy cream in a little carton in the refrigerated section.
Wait. Oh, you mean the one that is shelf stable?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that
Anyway,
is pretty awesome that they have shelf stable cream. I agreed. I thought you meant like for like regular.
It comes out like as an actual like block of cream. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of
Okay.
kind of different. So sorry guys, that's abuse. Again, adjust this recipe to you. I sure as fuck added a lot more than a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla.
You know what I did?
What did
Because
you
I
do?
didn't feel like breaking out all my spices. Sometimes I get lazy, right? So I
Right.
have a thing from Trader Joe's it's just called pumpkin spice, which is all the
Yep.
shit that you mentioned.
Yep.
And I just like put twice as much in there.
Yep. I have the same exact spice.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck it, it's gonna taste the same because it's basically that.
I'm gonna go on a ledge here
Yeah.
and say if you're pressed for time and you really want to make this, maybe test it out with a cup of pumpkin pie filling because that's essentially what you're fucking doing.
Yeah. Fuck
You're
it.
making pumpkin pie filling.
Maybe cut back on the sugar if you did that.
If you do the pumpkin pie filling, I would probably maybe not really even use sugar
Taste
because
it. Taste it.
taste it. See if you like it. If you want to add a little more sugar, if I were to use pumpkin pie filling, I would maybe add a little bit more vanilla to it, and just to give it like a little bit of a better taste, a zhuzh. But other than that,
Okay. So this is another thing I want to say. I have found more uses for an 8x8 than I knew I had.
me too.
Right?
I have never used an 8x8 this fucking much.
So get
So I
one.
started doing a fucking podcast.
Yeah, and I got one at like Target for less than I think it was
Yes.
$5. So
Yeah,
go
no,
get
I have
one.
an oven safe ceramic one that I use, and I use an 8x8 a lot more, and we can get into that. But so go ahead and you're gonna basically at this point in your 8x8, I
You're
can't
gonna
remember if I lined mine with parchment paper. I lined it with parchment
I
paper.
did too.
I lined it with parchment paper. This is gonna get kind of gooey. So I lined it with parchment paper, and even then I think I sprayed it down. And start taking like about a third
No,
of that
2/3.
crumble mixture, 2/3, you're right, 2/3 of that crumble mixture, and put it in that 8x8 and just start smashing it down with your hands. Okay. You can use the back of a cup, you can use your hand. I use my hand, smash it down. When it's like a nice equal layer, go ahead and pour your pumpkin pie filling. Now, I will say this. If I were to make this recipe again, I would maybe bake this crust for a couple moments.
I don't know. Unless I think like if you let it rest in the fridge overnight, you don't need to. But if you're gonna eat it right away, it'll benefit from it.
You know me. I do not, when I'm making something sweet, I do not want to take the time to let it rest.
Well, I know, but I feel like this tastes better after a day.
No, I'm talking about when you put the crust in the 8x8.
I know you're saying you want to par bake it.
I want to par bake it.
And I say you don't need to do that if you're gonna eat it the next day.
Okay, well, I still think regardless because I want a little bit of a crunchier bottom. But
Of course you
anyway,
do.
shut the fuck up. I knew you were gonna say something about that. I don't know why. I knew, guys, our whole fucking life. I mentioned anything to get you home.
All right, look. So you put in your crust, you put in your filling, and then you top the rest of
And
it.
then on top, sprinkle that crumble around. And it's funny, when I did this recipe, I thought this might not be enough to top it.
too.
It was. It was actually
enough.
more than. So you missed your total moment there when I said top it. All right.
I'm stuck
So
on the bottom part over there.
I know you were. So, okay. Put it in your oven now, 350-degree oven for 40 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Take it out when you're done. So here's my thing. This is my take, Maddie. So when I ate it, because I, as someone who loves food, I like to try it in multiple stages.
Mm-hmm.
And the first stage, I want to, I let it cool. And when I let it cool, I actually kind of let it cool and then take it out of the pan, like pick it up by the part of it. And I cut it into bars, and it tasted okay. It tasted like a good oatmeal. And that's about it. And I was kind of disappointed. The next day, this shit shined. Like it was good. The next day, it really, for some reason, it was just really good.
You know what? I tried it. You had made it first, so I heeded your advice. And I tried it when it was cold, like cool room temp. And I find that it just tasted more pumpkin-y, like squash pumpkin when it was room temp.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
the texture came through.
right. So what I did was I put it in a container and I put it in the fridge overnight. And then the next day it tastes spicier, like more like the vanilla and the warmth comes through more because the pumpkin has a chance to kind of solidify again.
Yes, it does.
And it's delicious. Like this disappeared from my home.
Mm-hmm. This was good. Like
My
this was
kids
good.
liked it, but more so my husband, who doesn't like to eat anything more than an hour old, because I don't know. I have when I met my husband, you know what he used to eat, Eric?
Mm.
He used to eat, with nothing wrong with this, but just saying, boxed scalloped potatoes by the fucking ton. They used to buy it in bulk, okay? And that's what he that was like cuisine to him.
Right.
And now he won't eat a leftover. That's where we're at. Okay.
Okay, so listen, growing up, because my beautiful Hispanic mother
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how to make the American dishes, and I
Yeah.
wanted scalloped potatoes once, and she bought boxed scalloped potatoes, and she thought it was like, she's like, guys, I did this.
I've done it.
And if you were special on some nights, she would bake it instead of putting it in the microwave.
Oh shit. Ew, in the microwave. That's so horrible. Oh Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's okay. Scalloped potatoes.
They're
Listen,
fucking bad.
I'm not here to yuck your yum, but
I know, but they taste like styrofoam.
if you have the ability to make a box scalloped potato, you can cut a potato and make it from scratch.
Agreed, a
And
thousand
it's
percent.
a lot better tasting and has the equal amount of
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 shit.
it's an equal amount. It is not hard to make them. That we can do that one day. But
We should actually, we should do a
yeah,
potato.
that's actually a good potential holiday dish. But anyways,
So
yeah,
yes,
so no leftovers for him.
no, because he's bougie now. But he ate them all and he ate them over a course of several days, which tells you something. And I think that this is a winner chicken dinner. It almost tastes healthy, which is stupid to say out loud,
Oh, that's so funny you said that because I
right?
thought the same thing when I was eating it. I'm like, I was
It's a vegetable.
no, it's not. Because it's healthy for my glycemic index. So
It's not, but it
no,
gives you that
definitely
impression.
not. In all honesty, it's not the absolute worst thing you
Right.
can make, to be perfectly honest with you.
Because there's
If you,
oats and pumpkin.
listen, if you want to cut it down, you can use sugar substitutes in this. You would still have to use butter, but there's nothing wrong with butter in moderation. Actually,
Mhm.
butter's better for you than margarine and things like that.
Like part of the
So
Trinity, right? Like butter, garlic, onions.
the Trinity is actually
I know, dickhead, but that's my Trinity.
well, okay, well that makes sense. I was gonna be no, it's like onion.
Celery and carrots. You don't even know what the fuck it
Yeah.
is over there. Look,
Shut
shut up.
up,
Don't
man.
correct me.
It's the morning, okay?
Good
So,
morning. It's
anyways,
12 o'clock.
well, my after last night, it's the morning to me.
Oh,
So,
Hannah.
but that's the so yeah, if you do want to make it healthier, don't get me wrong, you can substitute your sugars. But
Whatever, man. It's the fall. You do whatever you want. I recommend you just make this shit and maybe have one if you can and get
honestly, it's a very filling bar. Like you don't
fat.
think it's fat and
Mhm.
there's oats in it. So it's actually quite a filling bar. I enjoyed it. So let's
Get in it.
uh make it delicious.
Okay, guys. I know fall just started, but I feel like we're like deep in that shit right now. I'm so excited and I want to make all the things in the oven. I can't tell you how excited I am. Braising, baking. What's another B word? Bitching.
Bitching. Teasing, baking, and bitching. I like that.
All right, you guys. We missed you. We hope you enjoyed this episode and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.